My drag mom did that.
All right, everybody, let's do the gosh darn thing, shall we? Big energy.
Can't explain all the ways.
Everything's all right. Everything's fine. Welcome to the Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for LOLGBT Plus presents Say Yes. Please welcome to the stage. Say Yes.
That always, it's like, wow, like a dick to the face.
Stay
that
ready.
way. I don't know.
Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we're on. Hi, this is Say Yes. I'm Suzette Vanetti, and with me are Shady and Katana Ray.
Hi.
Hi, Mom. Just kidding.
Oh, I was
she
like,
doesn't watch this.
Your mom doesn't watch?
She doesn't support me. It's okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
that's a
That
whole
got
other topic
sad.
in
I
itself.
did. I was like, let's save that for that episode.
Okay, for real.
Yeah. That's the episode. Should Shady's mom support Shady?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. We also, well, maybe it's a no.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because, like, if your mom doesn't already, and so many people do,
That's true.
do you need them to?
That's true. You're right.
I mean, it's always nice, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's always nice. When,
Would we be thriving? Probably not.
Is it going to make you better?
I guess it wouldn't really make a difference now.
I didn't mean to, like, get really deep
I know.
in this therapy session.
This is the Mother's Day episode.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day. Speaking of therapy and mental health.
Oh,
Well, no,
why'd you look at me when you said?
because I was talking to you about therapy.
Speaking of therapy.
Therapy. Speaking of people that need therapy.
Oh.
No, actually, so Apple's not here, and we're being honest about why. It's because it was a really bad day for her. And so maybe we're going to tackle the topic of mental health on a future episode when she's here. Also, I was just telling you guys, but I'll just tell YouTube and Twitch. My drag mom was out tonight, which is weird because anytime people ask me, like, who's your drag mom? I'm like, you wouldn't know her. Like, you ready? I'll tell you the name.
Go.
Animosity. Do you know her?
I don't.
No, no one does.
No.
They're like they perform still, or are they like whether like out of drag?
No,
or...
no. She was out of drag and doesn't perform.
Okay.
Do you know Animosity?
I have animosity, but I don't know her.
Well, because you're old enough to. Like, you have to be. You have to have started drag like when Apple and May and
Yeah, like 2013.
and because
I was in high school.
Oh my
Shut
god!
I couldn't get in the bars.
Are you really in 2013?
Leave.
You were in high school?
Yes.
So you're only.
I thought you were older than me. I don't know.
You're only
why.
28.
No.
You have an old soul.
I'm 27.
You're 27.
Yeah. Disapproving looks.
It's okay. I look 24.
You give
so-
off mature, like wise vibes.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Not chaotic 20s.
No.
Oh, good. Cool.
No.
Growth.
I mean, like, I don't know. The Shady that we know, no. But, like, I could see somebody watching you perform and be like, chaotic 20s. Right?
Oh yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
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 That shows that your knees still work. Yeah.
Right. I'm like, those
You can
knees
jump-
work
you can
well.
Bounce on those pleasers. I was like, yeah, we can't. Once you turn 30, they're like,
Yeah. Creaky cranky.
do it while you can, enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, no. So, like, Mercury and Apple did drag with her in May. But most people that started.
Maybe I do that. I might have like maybe sent on a flyer because that's like when I was starting doing drag was in Sacramento and I was like doing it like at Faces and stuff like the Diamonds and then it was a whole different generation.
Well, that's the only place that you could do drag in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just telling that to someone yesterday. They were like, so like how many shows are there? And I was like, well, really quick refresher on that. Like back in the day, there was one show at Faces. That was it. And then Badlands added a Friday show once a month. Did you know all this?
No.
Oh, so
This was before me.
this is like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Badlands had one show. Well, no, that's not true.
Yeah,
because
because
the
I
showcase-
didn't even step foot in Badlands until like, I mean, I was watching like Rue Girls perform, but I didn't perform in Badlands till like way later in my career, like halfway through, more than that.
Well, when did the showcase start?
Sunday Showcase.
Yeah.
Well, sidetracks. Oh, well, okay. If you think about it that way, because I judge it by Becca's videos, because like Becca's first video of me is at Sunday Showcase, and it was probably like my second or third one there. So it's like 20, like maybe like I'll say like maybe 17, maybe.
Yeah,
I feel
so-
it feels longer than that, but it probably was like later because in my head like 2020 was yesterday, and I keep thinking that like
Right.
whatever.
So like so the Sunday Showcase I think is only like 6 or 7, maybe 8 years old.
Really?
I mean, possibly slightly older, but
I thought it was older than that.
it
no?
it could go back to like 2014.
Time is
still,
a constant.
There wasn't
yeah.
like as 4 years ago, there was only the one Friday a month, the third Friday, and the Sunday Showcase, and that was it.
That's wild.
Right.
But, so how did that work in terms of getting bookings as a performer?
That's why like all the older queens are like, people are really kind of like mad about not getting booked, and they don't understand how much opportunity there is now. Like there's so much opportunity because there's the Monday show, there's the Thursday show, there's the Sunday Showcase, there's the Friday show every week, there's brunch now. Now Roscoe's has brunch.
There's
so
shows
many,
like everywhere.
there's
now.
so many drag brunches. Diana Hall has a show, Dixon Her has a show. Like everybody has shows, and there's so many chances to get booked. And back in the day, it was like, if I'm correct, I mean, we really should have Apple here for this conversation because she was part of that Sunday Showcase cast. But it was set. Like there was a set cast for every Sunday. Like if you were on the first Sunday cast, then you were every first Sunday.
Oh, okay.
But the cast didn't rotate.
Okay.
Like you couldn't get in if you weren't in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then the Friday was kind of like you had to be like the creme de la creme. Like you had to like to do a Friday, right?
You need to be like a headlining act.
You
Yeah.
really, yeah, it was like a rarity. Like if you were a Friday performer, it was like,
Cause it's like prime time. It's like prime slot, like a Friday
Yeah.
evening. Cause usually, like, back in the day, we're used like at my bar, our show's on a Thursday because nothing happened on Thursday nights at the time. So it was like the bar was empty and dead regardless if we were there or not. So like you can have a show on Thursday. Then I'm like, okay, cool. And it was dead on Thursdays, but like to do things on like a weekend was like maybe like a pride thing or like a Halloween thing, maybe.
right.
And then even Sunday is like, kind of. I mean, Sunday is like, it's the weekend, but it's like not quite. It's like people have work the next day, people have school the next day. So it's like Friday or Saturday is like prime club going time. So it's funny because now it's like I think about it, like I don't know if I want to like I would love to perform on a Friday or Saturday because it's like people want to go and dance and drink. They don't want to see drag.
Oh, crap.
That was like the time, like because when I was like young, we went to like Bojangles and stuff, and I
Right.
didn't think about drag queens at the time.
Do you know Bojangles?
I've heard of Bojangles, but I don't know Bojangles.
Do you know what it is?
No.
You just heard it in passing.
Is it like a club?
It was. It's gone now.
Was it in Sacramento?
It was. It was on 21st Street.
Oh.
Yeah.
Am I okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, because like there was Club 21. Was that at Bojangles?
I
or
think
was
that-
Bojangles? Did Bojangles hold Club 21?
You know, my very elderly drag aunt Helen is coming,
Yeah.
so we'll just ask
She'll
her.
know.
She'll know. She'll have all these
So
answers.
was Bojangles like a gay bar or was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I think I went to Bojangles when I was like 18.
And Club 21 was possibly the same thing. Do you know? Because you were around taking pictures. Right. Was that just at Faces? Talking to our audience here. Oh, definitely. Definitely
Yeah.
in 2009. Faces was there was just the one drag show at Faces. Like a week? Yeah.
At
that,
Faces of all places?
that was it.
Yeah, drag was like popping at Faces.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because Badlands barely existed.
Oh, that's true.
Badlands was built, I think, in 2008,
Oh, wow.
right? So like, and like Depot, like they didn't have drag. Sidetracks wasn't there yet. So like that's and like I am grateful for every time I get to perform. I'm so grateful for it. But I like it's crazy to me that people are like, there's not enough gigs, or I don't get to do enough gigs, and it's like, you did like 7 this month.
What is enough though? Like, what
Well,
does that mean?
Right, we talked
Yeah.
about that last
Yeah,
week,
no,
right?
balance yourself.
We
girl.
talked
What
about-
does that mean?
I actually turned one. I've turned a couple down for the 25th because I'm like gonna be on life support. Like, I really, truly, I have my Thursday show in San Francisco, and then my Friday show at Badlands, and then I'm doing a children's museum Pride event that Saturday morning, and then I'll be here. Well, I'm producing a show here that Saturday night, and then I'm doing a show Sunday night, and I'm like, I don't want to do another brunch like that Sunday morning. Like, they're not gonna get the best version of me.
Yeah, they're gonna get tired, grumpy you.
Well, I mean, there's no grumpy me, but they're gonna get tired me, you know. And like that camera's seen a lot of tired me on the Suzette Vanetti show. His fall
I know.
asleep.
During my interview, they're like, "You see Suzette falling asleep during your interview?" I'm like, "No, I didn't see that." I was too busy looking at myself in the camera.
That was I was like, no one's gonna see. They're gonna look because that's what that happened a lot with Zoom. I would be looking at myself more because you don't want to look stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you do that?
I did. Yeah.
Anyway, that's the refresher on Sacramento drag shows, and like now there's of course so many. There's like I think we talked about this on the show, but there's
Like
at least one a night. Yeah.
There's like one a night, or depending on what night, multiple a night.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I remember when I started a Saturday show and people were like, "Oh no, 2 shows on a Saturday?"
Sundays are crazy now. There's like
Yeah.
4 shows.
There's probably more.
There's probably more than that.
Well, because Faces has like 3 on Sundays.
Faces, and then Bear Dive, and then Badlands, and then
And
brunches.
I do shows on Sundays and then brunches, yeah. And so
Yeah.
it's like, and then I know secretly Helen's doing a show on her own on Sundays, just for herself.
Alone in her room, or
Yeah,
what?
I was gonna try to make a joke, but then I realized halfway through, like, this is not funny. We would have seen it on. It would have been funny if she had been here.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she would have made a face.
She's like, "How do you know? Who told you about my private gig?" Have you seen that whole like discourse about posting your private gigs on your calendar?
Okay,
What's the point of doing
Don't-
that?
okay.
I think it's kind of funny.
I don't get me started because I saw that and I was like I
Private
did a
gig, private gig, private gig.
Did you
Can't
see? Did you
say.
see Rosalia?
no.
She made one, and all of them were like private brunch, private show, private, and very private.
I love that. I love that because it's like, what's the point? You're just flexing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bijou was like, I do it so I remember. Yeah, because like for me, like I have.
That's what Google Calendar's
I have
for.
to physically write mine down, or else I feel like I forget it. Because I have like a digital calendar, but I'm like I have to write it on my calendar and look at it, or else I'm gonna forget I do it.
Totally.
But
totally.
to post it, to go out of your
To
way to
post
post
it.
it, though.
I had a
Unironically,
I had a meeting with someone today about a drag brunch. Should I post that? Like meeting about future show, like right? Like
private event, private event.
I did one yesterday and I didn't post it. I took some pictures, but I wasn't even like at this private gig, yo. It wasn't really a private gig; it was a corporate gig. But like at this corporate gig, yo.
I'm
like,
gonna start just advertising like that.
Are you?
Yeah.
public gig. Like,
Public gig, public gig.
Have you seen that video, like that meme of like Little Mama when she's like, "I'm on my way to an event and I'm happy," and then it cuts to like a picture of, like this kid's birthday party or something.
No.
Oh, it's like I don't think it's real, but it's like a meme, and it has her like in a car, and she's like, "I'm on my way to an event and I'm happy," and then it like has like a picture of her like in front of a pool, like rapping for like a barbecue.
What's the worst? Like, what's the weirdest or worst show you've ever done?
See, the weirdest and worst, funny enough, they don't connect. Because
Right.
My weirdest show was very pleasant, if that makes sense. We did a fundraiser. Like Helen knows me. It was it was a private gig. My first,
Not so private anymore.
Yeah,
We should definitely start referring to them as private gig, public gig.
my first and only private gig I've ever done, and it's funny. 'Cause I mean, I hope they're not going to come across this. I know, like I've seen them. I've come across them like once since then, at like a Stockton event. But me and Helen, it was booked through someone that we knew. It was like they're like, oh, just do it because like I can vouch for you and like they'll pay. And I'm like, okay. And it was in Linden. Do you know where Linden is?
Linden?
No, but
It's
the
like
way you
east-
said it with a little bit of like.
I always just
animosity.
say like Linden is like Lodi, but like east of Stockton. It's like where all the orchards are. Like you just drive through it to get to Jackson. Like,
Basically.
yeah. And they were doing some kind of thing. I think like Helen knows the exact details, but from what I gathered, it was like they did a fundraiser for their jazz club at their school or something, at their high school, and then they did something good, so they were celebrating, and it was a bunch of adults, older people, and it was like in their backyard, and it was like we did like 3 numbers each, me and Helen, and it was interesting because it's like I had never performed for like a closed like in a house before, but it was not in the backyard. They had a sound system set up and everything. It was pretty nice at the time, but it was only weird because we got ready in their bedroom, the host's bedroom, and there was a hot tub in their bedroom.
Oh.
And it was one of those things where Helen's like, have you ever been in a place where you don't really notice anything, and you look around the room and you're like, you start to notice details in the room, and it's like, is this normal? Is this weird? And like it had like the host of the house, like the wife, like naked on a like there's a photo of her like naked like on her stomach like pose with like high heels on, and I was like, okay, because like when we came, it felt like suburban family, like
Mhm.
very nice people, and they were, and they still are. But we're like,
But she had like boudoir pics.
oh, but only her, I think. But like, I think there might be swingers.
I was gonna
Oh.
say it could be something like that, or like.
But they're
sex
really
parties.
nice. They had a pizza oven on their backyard thing. They had
I
like
thought you were gonna say in their bedroom. I was like,
no
damn.
pizza oven in their bedroom.
The bedroom was its own apartment.
We performed in the bedroom, and then
Yeah.
we just jumped in the hot tub, had pizza.
I was at a private gig with Helen that was kind of like that, where it was her. I wasn't performing at this one, but like it was her and Taryn. I want to say Apple and someone else, and it was they got ready in one of the bedrooms, which is always weird because there's a bed there.
Yeah.
Do you put your stuff on the bed? Can you put your stuff on the bed?
Should you put your stuff on the bed?
Like I wouldn't want someone to put a suitcase on my bed.
I wouldn't want that.
Right? So, but like also like beds have this tendency to dominate the bedroom usually.
But beds are so personal.
They're very
Don't you
personal.
guys view like beds as a personal
Yes.
thing? I mean, that's just me.
They are, unless like they're like someone who like super always hosts and like, oh yeah, make yourself at home. Like
That's
the bed
true.
and the bed's always made. And it's always pressed and nice and everything.
How
Like-
often do they change those linens?
I don't know.
Like if you like
Yeah.
just after people stay, what if no one stays for 5 months? It's just made.
I guess so.
I'm not sure.
But also like the people I stayed with, they were like, oh yeah, use like the makeup wipes in my bathroom. It was very clean, very organized and everything. I was like, okay. So they like, they didn't care if we like used their stuff like that.
Did you leave a boudoir pic of you in your heels?
you know, I
should've.
wish I did. I wish I might have to just go back in time and leave one there and change the course of history.
You should have been like, notice anything new?
Just put my face over her face.
Oh my god. Okay, well no, don't change the course of history. Just go do that. Just be like, I'm sorry, I forgot something here. When was this? 2013?
It was probably like 2014 or 15.
I forgot something here 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I just need to and just have your face on a sticker and just put it over her face.
My flash moment, my across the katana verse moment.
Yeah, I like that. I'm glad you comics. Yes. Do you know who? You know, we talked about it for a second. You know what I'm dressed as?
Spider lady?
Close enough. Close
I wonder
enough.
if there is a spider. There's so many spider. I mean, I don't follow comics, but I follow like news about movies and stuff.
Hey Google,
Oh no.
is there a spider lady?
According to Marvel, created by Archie Goodwin and Marie Severin, Spider-Woman made her debut in Marvel.
That's different.
That's Spider Woman.
Yeah.
Probably
isn't there, like,
that
a-
does sound like a
But also
DC
there is like
thing.
that what like the something of the kiss of the spider lady. Isn't that like a show on Broadway or something?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
See,
Oh.
Spider
Yeah.
lady.
that I believe. Yeah,
Which one's Madam Web?
Madam Web is
that Marvel?
Marvel,
Yeah.
and she is a precognitive. I wanted to say transparent. That's not right. A precognitive. She can read minds.
Oh yeah. The
Telepath,
The girl
thank
from
you.
50 Shades of Grey is playing her in a movie.
Yes,
mhm.
and but the young version.
Yeah. I don't know the history. I just know I watched the movie news, but I don't know the context of what they are.
I think Madam Web's like 400 years old, so I'm like, she wasn't like 30 in the 70s, guys. Like, no, she's like an alien being. She controls. So the Spider Verse existed before the multiverses did,
Mhm.
and there's different spider totems in all the different universes.
Wait, did you see the new movie?
I haven't yet. I really
Oh,
want to.
You should go in that.
I should go in this.
Yes. Commit.
Well, this is a character from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commit.
Well, I will. I did a number
You're like,
last,
one ticket, please. And they're like, what movie?
and then
Little
I-
Mermaid.
Transformers.
Yeah.
I wore this last Friday and I did spider webs, and because I wanted to do that for like 3 years. I wanted to do Spider Gwen and do spider webs, and the 5 people that knew who I was lived, and the other 90 people in the bar were like, "Are you a robot?"
Yes.
And yeah, it.
I mean,
Yes, I
concepts.
am.
I have a lot of numbers like this. I don't know if you do or if you do, but like I have a lot of numbers where in the moment no one's like they're being nice and they're clapping and cheering, but I can tell they're like, what?
I've
the
had
fuck?
those moments.
That's me all the time.
Right,
Because
okay.
all my references are so niche that they're just like, I don't know what that is, but I like watching you perform, so I'll watch you do it. Like my Mother's Day, my Mother's Day number was inspired by this random contestant from Flavor of Love Charm School from like 2008.
That's so specific.
Yeah, and it's like because it just stuck out in my mind, and because like back in the day, like reality TV was like relatively new, and like Flavor of Love and like all that stuff like was very like it was memorable.
Not
and
Flavor of Love.
It was.
I love Flavor
Well,
of
it was
Love.
like it was kind of like, not to degrade challenge shows versus reality TV, but it's kind of like when Drag Race had like 5 seasons, you knew all the
Yeah.
contestants. You could name
Yeah.
all 60 or whatever people that did it. But now they're on season 15, season 8 of All Stars.
Mhm.
There's drag races across the world. There's Drag
Mhm.
Race World versus there's US versus, or was it UK versus the world?
UK and Canada versus the world.
UK and Canada, was that one? Wait, was it Canada versus the world and UK versus the world?
UK versus the world.
Okay. I was like, how'd they pick that pairing, Canada and UK versus everyone else?
Yeah,
That's what I thought
that's
it
what they
was. No.
we hosted it. So like and UK versus world it was based in UK, and then in Canada it was based like Brooklyn Heights like hosted, I think.
Has Canada had a second season?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm like, is that why they're doing that?
I'm not sure why.
Why not US versus the world? That's the obvious.
Yeah, I know. It might be because of the distribution. It's weird, and also because Rue was there for the UK one.
Right.
So I don't know. It's weird. I'm assuming it has to do with like the whole like the policies of like what's cheaper to produce at what time or whatever. I don't know TV, so I can't comment on it.
But my point was, like, you did know all the people on all the reality shows at one point because there were only so many. And so you knew the people on Flavor of Love, or you knew all 3 sister wives.
Mm-hmm.
And then they added a 4th and everything went to shit.
Yeah, it's like so. Like there was one episode, one scene where, because there's this girl. Like her arc was that she was an exotic dancer, but she was also a mother. Ooh, at the
So-
time it was so controversial.
Oh my God.
And,
like, has that ever happened before?
And then she had a fight with one of the contestants, and I guess like the girl like brought up her mothering skills or whatever. So she had to blow up in the parking lot talking about how good of a mother she is because she does these things for her kids. And then it was serious, but also kind of like funny at the time in like 2008. Like she's screaming about being she's like screaming at her friend, like venting to her about it. It's like, I am a damn good mother. So that always stuck with me. I'm like, I am a damn good mother. Like I just would always laugh at that. Not laugh at her because she was like, I thought she was a cool contestant. She made top 2, but like, it was just so out of pocket. And you just remember that random thing because I used to like say it like in memes and just stuff like that. So I was like, I want to do that one day. And I waited years and I always forgot the next week after Mother's Day. I was like, oh, I didn't do that stupid niche thing from 2009. And then I finally did it this year and no one knew what I was talking about except for like maybe like 2 people.
But it's so worth it when those 2 people know.
Yeah, well, I did it for myself. Like, I happen to have the costumes similar to what she did because they were like scroller outfits. So I wore my go-go outfit from Kill Bill, and then I just did it as her, and I was like, it worked out. And like, I did like, "I Am Your Mother" by Meghan Trainor, but I just replaced the chorus with "I'm a damn good mother."
That's hilarious.
For
I
each
love
time.
that. What was I gonna say? That was only half my question.
Mhm.
Does this happen to you? So I do these numbers where I'm like, nobody knows what I'm doing. This is weird. So like, example, I did Bloody Mary on Easter with a baguette.
Wait,
Thank you.
Lady Gaga?
Yeah. And
With a
also,
baguette?
yeah, and Apple loves to make fun of me. So Apple, I know you're not watching, but if you are, I know you're gonna make fun of me right here. And I went online to buy a Mary Magdalene costume, but they only make Virgin Mary costumes. So I was like, close enough. Like they probably were wearing the same damn thing, right? Like it's not. They weren't like dressing like. I was gonna say prehistoric hookers, but
Oh
I'm
no.
like,
Jurassic period.
yeah, they weren't dressing like Jurassic period hookers. Like they were probably wearing the same flowing gowns and shit. So I wore that, and I had red hair because that felt like harlotty, you know.
Mhm.
And I had a baguette, and I did Bloody Mary. And
Well, why a baguette? Where did the baguette
because
come
the bread is the body of Jesus.
Oh.
Body of Christ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
see?
I gotta get
See?
on it now.
And a lot of people, and that's how a lot
That
of
would
people.
take me a moment to
people are like,
get.
why does she have bread?
Why do you have
And-
a baguette?
and
Took a
like,
loaf of bread.
I did it, and it was brunch, so I did it twice, and I'm like, that was fun. I don't know if I'll ever do it. And I had masked guys, like staff, carry me out, but they were too weak to carry me, or I'm too heavy for them to carry. One of them. I've had other guys carry me out, and it's fine. But they like just because like the start of that is like, dum dum, and it, like so Yeah, and so I'm like, I don't know if I should ever do that again. Like 6 weeks ago, somebody comes up to me at the bar and they're like, "Do you know when I started loving you?" And I'm like, "No, tell me," because it's always some weird shit that I did. And they're like, "When you had a baguette and you did Bloody Mary and on Easter," and I'm like, "I wish your face would have said that you loved it then," like, because
I've had those
I've
moments.
had that too.
your face
Yeah.
was not loving it. But I'm glad it stuck with you. That happens a lot with comedy. A lot with comedy. People are like, "You were so good tonight," and you're like, "You could have laughed.
But they didn't laugh.
You could have
Yeah.
audibly
Or
made noise."
cheered.
Yeah, because I was just up there dying.
I've had it before, like where people are like, oh, like that's why I like when people post on Instagram stories and stuff because sometimes like that's how my people see my performances at
Mhm.
all. Like thank God for Becca and stuff, but like
Thank God
sometimes,
for Rebecca.
but sometimes like not everyone always follows Becca though. So like people who will see it through their mutual friends, like I remember I did like a number for Stranger Things last season where they were talking about like, do you watch Stranger Things?
I don't.
Oh, it was so good.
See, like,
I seen clips
It
of
was
it.
so, it was like really stupid. It was like this because like one of the characters is like they're like, oh, they might be gay, like they're kind of clear coded for a long time,
Mhm.
and then like there was a part like 2-parter for season 4, so like it ended on like a half, and then they're like the producers of Stranger Things will address Will's sexuality next part, and I'm like. And then, so I was like, okay, he's gay. Like we all like, oh, he's gay. He's gonna be gay. And then so I did a number of like, I'm coming out as Will Byers, and it was like the stupidest thing. I wore like jeans and like a striped T-shirt and sneakers, and I was like, this is so fucking stupid. And then like people like after that, like, oh, I loved your number when you did that. I'm like, you weren't even there. So I'm like, I'm glad that like people do like they actually do watch stories and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Forget
They
that.
do. They
Yeah.
do follow along.
I know, like, the movie came out today. That's why I'm wearing this, obviously. 'cause,
Oh, it
like,
came out already?
Mhm.
today.
Oh, gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
We
now. It just
go
came out
together.
today, yeah.
Yeah, it just came out just now, 10:40.
Like
No,
right now.
But like,
There's
I'm like,
Helen.
okay. People are gonna be like, oh, and I'm gonna post a picture because I've been waiting to post a picture until the movie came out. Because like, I didn't want to spoil my performance.
Yeah.
in the
Because I know
movie.
you had that for at least like over a month.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were there when I tried it on.
Because I think you tried on after Mortal Kombat night.
I did,
Yeah.
and then Xena insisted on taking pictures, which love that. I love that she wanted us to take pictures, but I was like, now it just looks like I didn't understand the theme.
Important question following that.
Please,
Are you guys gonna see the Barbie movie in July?
Absolutely.
July 21st
I have
specifically.
I have plans to see it with Luna Nova.
One ticket to Barbie, please. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I'm going
movies-
dressed up.
Movies for me, I'm like, I'm so late. I used to be so good at seeing movies. Now I'm like, I see them so late. Like I still like, I want to see Little Mermaid still. And well, I saw Guardians like the week it came out, kind of, because I felt there'd be some kind of spoilers going on. If it's heavy spoilers, I'll probably see it as soon as I can. I just hate seeing movies in theaters because I hate people.
I really only see Marvel movies and Fast and the Furious movies in the theater because I'm like, those are the ones that I need.
Yeah.
The full
The
experience.
screen.
Dolby
Yeah, like
surround
no
sound.
hate on Little Mermaid. I want to see it. Like I want to see. I'm going to the Barbie movie.
The
Because
Barbie movie.
Someone invited, but honestly, I think that one is gonna be like a big screen movie because do you know that they caused a worldwide shortage in pink paint?
I saw that. Did you? Who posted that on Twitter or something?
Oh, I don't know. I saw like a news outlet.
Yeah, I saw it on a news article. Yeah.
Well, it has a plot and everything, so I'm excited. At first, I was like, I don't know where it's gonna go,
Right.
but there's a plot.
There's a plot. What if it's Greta Gerwig's directing? What if it like the real world is Sacramento?
They filmed a movie called Sacramento, and it like wrapped today or something.
Yeah, with not John
Michael
Cena,
Cera.
Michael Cera.
Yeah.
They have they have very similar names, with Michael Cera and Kristen Stewart.
Oh really?
I think Kristen Stewart.
Oh wow.
Wait, Kristen Stewart's still acting?
Hey Google, who's in the movie Sacramento with Michael Cera?
All right, but first you'll have to unlock your device.
Bitch.
It's like the movie's not done filming yet, asshole.
it's like I don't give away spoilers. Oh, here we go. It just gave me Michael Cera's IMDb. That didn't work. Ah, right. Yay. Oh, my hood slipped off, huh?
Oh, let's get halfway to the point. Where's Helen at?
I don't know.
I'll be there in
She-
10 minutes. It's 10:43.
Right. I'm like, we're trying to wait for her to get here. Okay, let's start the topic. Although I want to say we did an admirable job of making good, interesting conversation, waiting for she's elderly, that's why. She's so
Just
old.
waiting for the shuttle to get over here. Yeah. No, we
Not
can
the
like
shuttle.
no. Me and Suzette had like literally sat in the fitting room, dressing room, and just talked for like 2 hours straight.
Oh yeah.
And then the like, bar was closing, and our show was done like at 10 p.m. We're just sitting there just talking about like I don't even like everything.
Everything. I was gonna see what you're doing tonight. I was gonna be like, because sometimes you stay in Sacramento for a little bit. So I was like, are you gonna be hungry? Do you want to come back to the bar?
I'm supposed to have a engagement after this
Oh.
show, but we'll see.
Okay, well we'll see what time it is. Because do you like Vietnamese food?
I love it.
Okay, Red Beret on J Street. I love it there.
Raspberry beret.
Yeah, and I need to eat. Because I'm hosting Vacaville Pride tomorrow. Well, you're in
Yeah,
Vacaville Pride
me and
tomorrow.
Helen are riding together.
Okay.
That's why I gotta go after this. I gotta go and then go home and then figure out what I'm gonna wear for Vacaville Pride.
So you're going back to Stockton,
Yes.
and Helen's staying in Sacramento.
No, she's going home. She better
Okay.
choose my ride.
Ooh.
I've never been to Vacaville, so I don't know how to get there.
Oh.
I mean, I have a GPS, but I'd rather not drive. I like to go somewhere for the first time with someone first, and then I can.
I love us being.
Right?
Yes, during the day is important. I love
Yeah.
being the that we're environmentally conscious tomorrow. You're riding with Helen, Aurora's riding with me. We are carpooling and drag performers saving the earth.
Wait, is the Vacaville gig tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Vacaville Pride tomorrow.
What?
I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
thought it was like next weekend.
No,
No.
it's tomorrow.
I
And
just
there's an
mixed up
after
the days.
party.
I just had to think. I was like, no.
There's a
it's
few
fine.
like Pride Nights events happening all month though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Rose and Bijou are doing one like 2 weeks from now. That's like a Pride Nights event.
I actually told a place today that wanted me to do something on the 25th. I was like, just wait till the July. And they were like, but we June. And I was like, yeah, let's do something else on June. Like, be the only drag brunch in July.
Yeah, like we have ours. Stockton Pride is like in September,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yes, fall, autumn leaves.
Yeah, I did Up Bay Pride.
Oh my god!
It's a celebrity.
How was the shuttle?
It's a $10 cover.
Because we've been waiting. But then I reminded our audience that you're elderly and it takes you time. I am. Here, get a mic.
Hi.
Welcome.
Audience, Helen Heels.
Oh my god, look, we're matching.
Oh
From
yeah,
the ankles,
no,
from
totally.
the ankles down.
Orthopedic realness.
The camera can see it. I don't know if you
Oh.
care.
I don't care.
Okay.
Nobody cares about
Really,
me.
I
Used to do
mean-
this show with someone who wore shoes, and then the day after she was
Hi,
like,
Sid.
"Oh no,
You look
Really?
hot.
Thank you.
We were watching the YouTube in the car. We heard your comment about Becca.
Which one? Oh, thank God for Becca, or
yeah.
what?
This is hot.
Thank you.
Did you hear us say thank God for you?"
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Praise.
And then we were
Like, we didn't
listening
make
to
it
the
up.
Eagles.
Won't he do it?
So here, answer. Did you hear the question?
No,
you-
I didn't.
Okay, so I want to talk about the topic we actually were going to talk about,
Which is
which is Pride too corporate?
yes. Now.
Okay, that's it. Give it up
Yep,
for Helen.
okay,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
put it over.
Thank you so much.
It's time to go.
No, but we were making conversation, and so I like, Katana wasn't sure, and Shay had no like knowledge of this. But at one point in Sacramento, there were just shows at Faces once a week, Badlands one Friday a month.
Yep.
When did the Sunday showcase start?
So Chantal's Sunday Showcase started the same year that I started. So that would have been 8 years ago. 9 years ago.
Yeah,
That was
That
the
was 9
longest
years
way to
ago.
get to that answer.
No. Here's why. It'll give you 9 years. 2023 minus 9 is
2014.
2014.
Uh-huh.
So 2014 is when the Sunday Showcase started, and they started doing Calendar Girls.
Oh, I forgot about
and
Calendar Girls.
Calendar Girls competition, and that's when they started having regular Sunday Showcase.
But you were in a set cast, and you performed that same Sunday every month, and there was
No.
no. Okay,
No.
good.
Well,
I'm glad you're here.
Misinformation.
Yes,
Yes.
There was a set cast, but it interchanged between the 9 of us originally, and then because there was me, Mercury, Apple, Luna, hold on, May, Cece, Persea. Hold on.
I know you're old. You're doing really
Shut
well
up.
though. Remembering.
Thank you.
We'll get you ginkgo.
Oh, what was her name? Not Xena. Zene. No, not Zenea. Oh, it started with a Z. She did porn for a
Oh,
while.
We'll let it percolate. It'll
Huh?
come to you.
Yeah,
Giovanni?
yes.
What was their name?
What was her name?
I loved their
It'll
drag.
come to you.
Her and then something with like an American name. Anyways, but we were the main cast, and we would change out every like 3 or 4, and then there would be like a guest performer, and then the next week would be the next, and then we'd switch out. That's how it went.
But if you weren't in the cast, then like you weren't in the cast.
Yeah, if you weren't in the cast, you were in the cast. If you were a guest spot,
Right.
then you would get on the show.
Because that's what I was saying is like it's crazy that people are like, I don't get to do enough gigs. But it's like there's so many gigs now. There's so many shows.
Compared to how it was like 8 years ago.
And it compared to 2014, it was like, good luck.
But see, it took a different, for me, and I say this all the time, is that I feel like there's an oversaturation of shows, but it's still underrepresented for a lot of different types of performers. I've been saying this since Gate, that people sleep on Katana, not because she's my best friend, but because she's been doing her style of drag and people praise her whenever they watch her. And I'm like, then book her. She used to give how much time did you give to drag when you first started? Like, we would be going to Modesto, Sacramento for all the free gigs.
Well, that's why like we started Ease, is because there was no Stockton or in between shows. So we're just like, let's just start our own show.
We actually started a show for you in Linden.
Cute.
Yeah.
I told him about that private gig, because they were talking about like, oh, I have a private gig here, private gig there. And I was like, we did a private gig once. I gave like vague details, but it was because they're like, what was your worst, weirdest show? I was like, well, it wasn't my worst.
It wasn't worst. It was weird.
But it was quite pleasant.
Did you do the show? Did you tell them the story?
Yeah, I mean, I give like the gist, like the things that we saw.
It's the pictures in the books. It was the realization. It's the realization when you go into somebody's room and you're like, cute room. The longer you stay there, you're like, huh.
Yeah,
It's weird.
There's a hot tub over there.
There's a hot tub.
Audience-
There's your wife on the wall.
Audience, you're not having deja vu.
I feel so vindicated.
Because Katana like went through you doing that, and then you got here and then did it. So that was just,
Well, that's what it looked like.
yeah.
Now you know.
Now we know.
Back to the question at hand. I also think that, I mean, this is slept on, but even people like Shay are slept, and not because they're here, but people like Shay are slept on because they offer a brand of drag that is not instant access. It's not the iPhone of drag, right? And when you have to get that detailed about describing it, then they're like, I would just rather not. And that's bad. And that's why y'all's coalition is important. If you are watching,
Thank
all
you.
6 of you, the coalition is
Don't
important.
make it. Don't diminish it. Like that.
No, I mean like live viewers. Are they live viewers?
They're live viewers. Oh,
Okay.
you're talking about the viewers.
Yeah.
That sounded like you're talking about the coalition.
No. You guys are like how many strong?
We're about couple numbers. We have like 8 people.
See, I wasn't far off.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold
Corporate.
on. Hold
drag.
on. You're making more topics than we have time for.
Timelines.
The
So
Spider-Verse.
yes, you're doing the Spider-Verse, and that's my job tonight. No, I just want to say I agree. That's why I book them both. Like not just here, but like Fridays when I can, Thursdays when I can. So I agree with that.
To be fair, though, like I mean, Helen has always been advocating for me, but also like a lot of times people would try to book me, like Taryn, Chantal, they tried to book me, but I'm like, I can't, I don't drive, and I have a full-time job, and I'm just too scared to ask for time off.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like,
She
book
did
me.
that for like 6 years.
Yeah, now I'm just like, book me. I'll just be like, I'm off that day. Sorry,
I love that.
I gave you 2 weeks notice. So,
Really?
but also like my no, don't I like see? I
Really?
requested the
I
Pixie
tried
Woods
to
one
book-
off,
Okay, that's
and then
true.
I already like I requested my vacation. I extended all the way through the 30th,
Okay, cute.
so I have the 30th off.
Oh, so you can do the 30th?
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Can you do the 30th?
The 30th of what?
June.
For what?
I'll tell you later.
I said for what?
Hijacking Suzette's show.
It's a private.
A little bit. Well, I
It's
mean,
a private
private
gig.
gig.
No, it is
Oh,
a private. It kind
we
of is
also
a
talked
private
about
gig.
that. We talked about like we're gonna start calling them public gigs
Yeah.
and
And
putting them on my
announcing
calendar.
them.
Did you
Public
guys
gig,
see
public gig.
Rosalia's post?
I just heard about it.
But like put public gig, but no details of where
No
it is.
details. Yeah.
Private
This-
gig,
this
Sacramento.
Thursday, yeah, this Thursday I have a public gig on Thursday.
I'm gonna
night.
start putting like meetings on there, like meeting about show.
grocery shopping.
It's gonna get to that. Like
Oh, that'd be oversaturation. Grocery stores booking drag performers.
I tried that actually once.
What'd you call it?
No, I tried to do it at the co-op, but then the pandemic
Supermarket
happened.
supermodel.
I just thought it'd be really fun to have like you
At the
dancing through
grocery
the aisle.
store?
Yeah, the co-op.
Work.
Yeah.
Did you perform in the cart?
No. We didn't actually make it happen, but I have sat.
Oh.
I have sat in a shopping cart at the bingo hall.
We could make it happen.
Oh, I
Could
know.
you imagine a drag performer just coming in on a cart, but then they run in the orange stand, just fall over?
Displays.
And you know what? Somebody 6 years later would come up to me and be like, "You know when I fell in love with you?
When you hit
My
all those
first drag
tangerines.
show was next to the grapes.
When you knocked the grapes over at Safeway." And be like, "Oh my God, thank you."
I got it tonight. Literally right before I left, I got somebody go, "Oh my God, I saw you at a drag performance when I was a teenager. You were the first drag," and I was like,
Oh,
"How old are you
no.
now?" And I
I
was
was
like, "Don't tell me.
14.
Don't say
Okay,
it."
that was another topic that came up. Bojangles and Club 21, same place or different places?
I'm so glad you finished that sentence. Bojangles. No. But yeah, Bojangles and Club 21 are technically the same place, but Club 21, the club itself was at a different space first, and then the venue was Bojangles.
And
Okay,
Club
that
21 was
was
for
the
under
question.
21 people.
It was for a little bit. Wednesday nights were 18 and under.
That's
I know because
confusing.
I used to go.
I went too.
And then they got hit, and then it became only 21 and up.
Oh.
And that's where
18
everyone...
and under.
Oh no, sorry, 18 and over. 18 and over. 'Cause we were 18. Well, oh no,
Family
you
friendly.
could get in.
You're
You
too
could
old to
get
come
in.
into this bar. 19-year-old, you can't come in.
I got in with Jose's, Fernando's, Gio's, Pablo, or whatever. I got in with so many different people's IDs, and it was the same person.
Oh, I was like, why
checking
were-
the ID.
Why were you only going with people with
Mexicans?
Latin names? Yeah.
No, because I was.
Because you didn't say it was an ID for you.
Because I didn't paint like.
I just
back
was
then.
like, why are you like so like specific about?
That's
who
where
you're
I
friends
first saw
with?
Mia Ho, though.
Okay, so that's where everyone first saw Taryn.
Yo,
Yeah.
she was my first.
That was the first
Yeah.
drag show I ever
That's
saw.
literally like not. Who was your first drag performer you ever saw?
Mercury.
Okay,
Which says a lot.
Yeah.
it does. You feel influenced?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so
I was captivated.
yeah.
Confused, captivated.
My
Like
first
they held
drag
you captive.
No.
Unbelievable. My first drag performer was Apple. But
wow.
almost
Wait, where though?
at a Monday night.
Oh, FTLP.
Yeah, because I was like, I think I want to try
After
it.
hours.
After hours.
It was after hours, and
Yeah,
I was like, I
same.
think I want to try it. So let me go watch it first and understand what I'm thinking about doing. And so I went like 2 weeks before I performed for the first time.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I'm still performing.
You are?
You are.
Yeah.
Which one are you?
I'm Spider Gwen.
Just Spider. There's Spider Lady.
I'm not Spider Lady.
Spider Lady.
Are you the one that dies in the movie?
In
She did.
What? We didn't see it. We didn't see it.
No. In Spider-Man 2, one of them
Yes.
dies.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
like you mean Gwen Stacy?
in the Amazing
Oh.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Are you going to see the new one?
No,
This-
Gwen
this-
Stacy passed
This
away.
is an alternate reality. This is an alternate.
It's this girl though, isn't it?
You mean like Emma
It's
Stone?
not the same one.
Oh, okay.
It's
You
an
mean like
al-
Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy?
It's like an
Yes.
alternate
Yeah.
an alternate universe's Gwen
I've never
Stacy.
seen any of them.
Well, she
Oh.
was before Mary Jane, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yes.
Because in the comics, like, yeah, because that's
She
where
said
the
yes.
whole the snap thing happened.
Yeah. Katana, do your Spider-Man impression thing. Where she's showing him the graphs of the papers.
I need a book or something.
Here's your phone.
Okay, you remember when like he's like in the
The very first
in
Spider-Man
the
movie.
very first movie, and he's like taking a picture. Like, let me take a picture of you for the whatever he took pictures for, the paper or whatever.
Yeah, the newspaper.
And then she's like, okay, don't make me look ugly, okay? And he's like, that's impossible. And then she's just like,
she turns away and she does this.
I've seen you post that meme.
Yeah, so we do that all the
Yeah,
time.
all the time.
It's so stupid.
there's my favorite one is the Nigel Thornberry one.
He
He's just
turns
like,
around.
don't make me look ugly, okay? He's like, that's impossible. And then
It's Nigel Thornberry's
face.
Okay,
Error.
we've killed an hour before we get to our topic. So now I'm like, I don't know if there's much time left for our topic. So
I raced over here.
I'm not
you better
mad at
do
you.
a topic.
all right, we're gonna do a topic. Is pride too corporate? Quick answers, yes or no,
Yes.
or maybe.
Yeah, it's like corporate support during Pride performative. Yes, at this point, yes, it is. But I think there were businesses and companies and brands that were always kind of like, well, like Absolute Vodka was always like a gay family thing, and like there's a few that were like sponsoring
Right.
prides. and
They liked the band before it was
they,
cool.
yeah, basically the hipsters of like corporate America, but like to an extent, I think it is a little overkill. Rainbow washing.
Did you, speaking of overwashing, did you see the guy that knocked over the Target display was on Grindr?
Yeah, and was it Grindr or was it? It looked like it was something else. Like
It wasn't Grinder, but it was Scruff. Yeah,
Oh, Scruff. Okay, I stay off Scruff and Grindr, so
it's like an app.
what was I asking? Oh, I need to answer. I think yes, because I think it's really expensive for people to go. I think there's so many vendors that you're like, what are you here for? Like, it's, I don't know, what are you doing? And then like, I think yes, but I'll elaborate more on it as we answer more questions.
okay,
I think yes, and what should tell you it is when it turns from June to July 1st, what the companies do with like all the Pride stuff.
But Pride events.
Like, should Pride be corporate?
Like, so Pride
No,
events.
like a Pride festival
Like
is
Pride festivals.
like the festival itself. Is it corporate? Not
Yes.
Okay.
like
It is now. I feel like
Yeah.
like back then the history of it isn't, but it is now, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is corporate. So like that's not going to change, right? Like it's not going to they're not going to
No, because we live in an era where people live to hang around to go to Coachella and EDM and stuff like that. So prides are like, how do we bank off of that same idea and do it for Pride? Because the gays are the ones that go to Coachella and
EDM.
EDC. Sorry, EDC.
It's very like
You
that.
got it, you got
Oh, it
Yeah.
is.
I got there. So that Pride festivals, because back when I used to go to Pride
Tell us,
in
elderly
the
Aunt
Bay.
Helen.
Back when I used to go to Pride in the Bay, which for me was like the thing. Like,
In
when were you born?
1942.
Eat shit. I was born in '87, same timeline.
same universe.
So same universe. And it used to cost $5, and that was a donation to walk in. They give you a little pink
Where was
sticker
this?
in the Bay,
SF or
in SF.
Yeah.
And you would go the night before for the pink party, and then you would just like, it was so inexpensive to just go and experience it.
Wait,
you
what's
got to
the
watch
pink party?
Huh?
Sorry. What's the pink party?
So it was like the pre-party to
Okay.
Pride, but it would be in the Castro. It wouldn't be in where Pride, like the parade was.
Like the mission.
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
And what they would do is everybody would donate the $5 because then they would do the cleanup. That's how much they paid for cleanup. And then, but you could just go to the parade. You could go to the vendors. You could watch the entertainment. That's where I saw Boa for the first time.
Me too. In 2009?
Yeah.
2007?
Seven.
No, it was 2009, I think, because when I first went to Pride, it was like 2008 or 2007, but she was in America like in 2009 because that's when her album came out.
No, well, it was either 7 or 8 because I was 2 years out of high school.
Yeah, that was my first year out of high school. Aren't you like only 2 years older than me?
Yeah. Anyways, it did not used to cost so much. I went there a couple years ago, and you had to pay for you couldn't shit without a fee. Like, it just was so much there in the
That
park.
was just you, actually. They
That's only-
emailed
that's only
me and
fee
they were
I'd like
like,
to pay.
Yeah.
how can we prank Helen? And I was like, charge her for pooping.
Per ounce. But like, I didn't even think about paying to get into Pride. Like,
Right.
I didn't even, because it's ever since I've been like 21 or 20, I've been a drag queen or a performer. So like usually I'm part of the show. I don't even go if I'm not booked typically. Like I don't go to an event if I'm not in the show.
So I think that's an interesting question. Like, why don't you go?
Because I hate gay people. No, like I don't know. It's like
It's lost
festivals.
its message.
Festivals and stuff, it's like not so much like I mean, maybe if I wasn't a performer, I would go to attend them, but it's like I also haven't been, ever since I was 21, I've only been a performer. I've never really been like just a patron of a bar. I've always just been like
A civilian gay?
I know how it goes behind the scenes, and I know that's why I know, like, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but like I've never like experienced it only as like audience member or something. So like I've always just seen it from behind the scenes kind of.
Shay, you're the youngest one here, right?
I am.
We learned that today.
What
yeah.
do you feel is the message when you go to Pride? Like, what's the message? Not what they feed you, but what is when you walk in and you're like,
Spirit,
"Hey, I'm
the
around."
spirit of
Yeah,
Pride.
what is it?
Love is love.
Okay,
Be
but
gay.
but is it like you're like, oh, I'm so glad this is like free nomad territory? Is it like you need to bring cash. Like you know how much you need to bring before you walk
it's
in.
definitely like you need to bring cash. Because if you want to be there all day and the events that are lined up, it's like you would have to pay for something. And you have to pay for entry.
Can I ask you an asshole question?
What?
Are you booked for Sac Pride?
No.
You know who is booked for Sac Pride?
Who?
Yes, I do.
Do you know who?
I do.
Like the headliner or like the
No.
local
No.
performers?
The
There's
locals.
there's someone that we all kind of heard through grapevine, and we're all like, okay.
Let's not get me canceled.
So
No, but
You're not
actually,
going to get
No, do you
canceled.
not know what
No,
I'm talking about?
it is well known. It is well known in this community that they have booked this many kings, this many in betweens, and this many locals.
they're on our list. Don't worry.
So that's actually that's one of the questions I have. So let's go back to the questions.
Okay,
So Pride is corporate, right?
right.
And that gives them money.
Right.
So with the money they have, that allows them to bring in Lizzo or other big names. Should Prides have a headliner, like a legitimate? And when I say a headliner, I don't mean it like we use it in comedy and it's like the last person perform or drag. I mean it like a legitimate headliner, like you're going to see that person.
No.
I don't think they should, but I think like
I'm sorry, I'm still gagging at the names you said.
no, yeah. So are we. But like it's like, and not in a good way either. It's like
Bad gag.
like people. I think some people would see a lineup of people and be like, well, I'm not going to go to that because that's
Well,
like
that's where it's gotten to Rainbow
Yeah.
Fest. Like people just don't give two shits anymore about Rainbow Fest because it's like last minute headliners, and it's like that's you. Do you work for the LGBT Center? Thank God. The LGBT Center, and I know this because I work for a Pride Center, and so there are surveys, there are reports that are put out every year for everybody in the Northern California area, which Sacramento is considered within that range. They bring in, just based on fundraising, sponsoring, and all that shit, millions every year. I'm not saying like a million. I'm saying millions.
Wait, who does?
The SAC LGBT Center.
Okay.
And the best that they got this year was Rebecca Black.
okay. I like Rebecca.
I no. And I stand
Black.
I stand
It's
Rebecca Black.
Friday,
I love Crumbs,
Friday.
and I've loved her other shit too.
Well, her new album is quite good.
I love Helen
There
being
it
like
is.
all six of you and Rebecca Black.
yeah,
But it's like you make
But
millions of dollars.
yeah.
That
Like,
they
where's
just
Beyonce?
stopped.
Where's Beyonce?
It's not. I think it stopped with Lizzo. And there's. Do you want some tea?
Do you remember me being at the Lizzo
Yes.
show with you? Okay.
Do you want some tea about that?
All right.
Do you want some tea? Do you
Yes,
want some
with the
tea?
cheese mix.
Well, I mean, I think you should check
the
with the
cheese man.
YouTube audience.
YouTube. Do you want some tea?
Okay. Now they've been
Here's
said
what
yes.
happened.
consented.
T-pose.
And this is not like, well, I heard. Like, this actually happened behind the scenes
Old
at
people
the
love
event.
stories. I'm kidding. I love you.
And that's a short story.
I love you.
Is that Lizzo was booked for SAC Pride right before Truth Hurts like really hit big. But more so than that, when she got booked, she did not know that it was for Sacramento Pride. That's how they got her in the contract, is that her management thought that this was like an arena event and was not SAC Pride.
Not a $10 ticket entry because I
Right.
seen her for $10.
Right. So they got lucky because of a mistake. They didn't get Lizzo because it's like, yeah, we got Lizzo. It's like, no, there was a contract misunderstanding and they got Lizzo.
I'd like
so
to
they're
say
not gonna get her back again.
no. I'd also like to say that like if you get lucky because of a mistake,
No,
that's my drag.
lucky for us, but that's what I'm saying. Like when people are like, yeah, Sacramento got Lizzo. It's like, but you don't know if you only seen half the story. What is it?
If you're not watching Untucked, you're only getting half
the story.
Okay, so then
Girl.
so
But have you noticed all the headliners going forward since have never been Lizzo caliber?
Leanne Rhymes.
That makes sense.
Leanne Rhymes kicking off the drag performers.
All the drag queens hated Leanne Rhymes last.
I gotta
Mercury.
say, like,
year.
I understand why they did that for that was Rainbow Fest, right?
Yeah, and it was
Yes.
time.
I understand
timing.
why they did that, but because it was in her contract, and they were like, she's gonna leave if we don't. But I'm like, Leanne Rhymes,
She said she was gonna leave.
She did.
like,
Yeah.
you could just like be like, hey, this really fun local thing's happening. I don't mind waiting an extra 20 minutes. She fought the moonlight.
She didn't
But
care about
also-
taking nobody's man. She
But
didn't care about no
also,
drag queens.
I would have been like, just make it go first and have us go after when it's nighttime outside.
Right.
And there was a street full of people there. When we were there, there was like maybe like a couple hundred, like maybe 100 people out there.
Yeah, it was 100
but it was
people.
like 20 feet away from the stage. So, like, like they were there, but like they weren't like really there. They were just kind of waiting for Leanne Rimes to get there. And it was like,
Right.
But I don't know. It's also like we go through it a lot with like Stockton Pride. People will come from out of town and be like, why is Stockton Pride at a ballroom this year? Like, why don't they have it somewhere else? Like, are you paying for it? Like, they have all these uppity like standards, and they'll just shit
because
on it.
of different festivals.
Yeah.
And they shit on it every year. And we're going to Stockton.
Yeah.
They shit on it every year because they're like, well, you guys only ever book the Stockton performers. And I'm like, yes, represent your local city's
It's
performers.
Stockton Pride.
I have
Yeah.
more. I have more.
But also we don't only do
questions.
that, too.
Go ahead,
planned.
go ahead.
Okay. But hold on. Where were we? Okay. So, do you think they should hire a headliner?
I think they should, I guess, but it's just like it's hard because I understand it's like it's entertainment. They want to have someone come in to bring people in,
Mm-hmm.
but it should be like someone from the community. I think at least.
Or use the money wisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. Do you know how many people you can book? Do you know how many people you can book that are 10 times more entertaining? What do we hear every year
Than who?
when there's a new batch of Rue Girls? Every year we hear the same thing. They walked around on the stage. They collected lots of money. They were paid thousands of dollars to walk around the stage.
Oh yeah.
They could. Do you know how many performers they could pay to put on one of the most epic fucking shows? Can I cuss?
Yeah.
It's YouTube, right? Okay, this is
You
monetary.
ask that every time you're on this show.
Well,
Better.
I'm trying to make you money, ho. Thank you for such a low amount. Do you know all the things you could do by getting some local entertainment to really kill these sets for what you paid one bitch to do to walk around?
Okay. So, do you?
I don't know. I'm a type of way where I'm like, you know, when we started doing drag, we didn't get paid for a lot.
No, we didn't.
So like for me, like if it's a pride event, like if the organization's like putting effort into like the setup of or like the green room or like the runners, like if they're doing all that for us, I don't necessarily think I need to be paid a lot of money. It's just like, why not just like give that courtesy, you know, and put that effort in instead of just kind of like, oh, show up here, perform, here's a tent with no hole. Like, you know, it's like, and it's like, because for me, I'm like, it's a pride event, it's our thing, it's like
It's a duty.
it's a community thing.
I think that is like you. I think drag performers, especially like I'm gonna say this for you and me. Like if you perform as much as we do, then you should do some charity events. Like you should.
And
do
I
some,
do.
And well, no, same. And you should do some good with your drag. Like you shouldn't just be like ticket, money. Where's the bag?
Exactly, but it's like, I know we grew up in different times. You know, like I like to do every like youth event I can, and it's not kids necessarily, but I'd like to do like the teenagers and stuff because they're not so cynical and they have good time and they like to watch and have fun. But you go to any like a 21 over club, they're like, she ain't all that. She's not doing all that for me. I'm like, what? Like I don't know. It's a weird thing. I'm not sure like that's shift. I think it's the human instinct that people are just going to judge and compare it to something better.
Yeah.
But it's like.
Well, and people want to put themselves in it, and they're like, I could do that if I was. And like
Try.
that's my favorite
Try.
thing. My favorite thing is
try.
when people are like,
Try.
Try.
I think I'm gonna start drag, and I'm like, oh, are you? They're like, yeah, it looks, or like they find out how much you can make if you do a lot of shows. They're like, oh, I should start drag. Oh, should you? It's that easy.
Yeah, it's that
You
easy.
just start there. Okay, yeah, start. I love to see it. I'd love to see that. Tell me all your public gigs.
I should start going on Broadway. I want to book myself on Broadway, I think.
I want to play in the WNBA.
As Angel.
So
As Mimi.
I'm Spider Gwen. I can jump so high. Let me tell you. I think if you're gonna charge people the admission they charge, and you're gonna make that much, I think you should have a headliner. I don't think it makes sense to charge people because, like you said, like love Rebecca Black, excited like that she's gonna be here, but like, how much are you making? And could you have got someone a little, you know, like that Rebecca Black would open for?
It's also hard to like to gauge what makes like a good pride. Even though I said, oh, you should get someone from the community, but now I'm like, I don't know who they could book that would cover like the mass umbrella that the queer community is.
Sam Smith.
Oh,
Too expensive.
I mean,
Okay.
like
True.
have like, or maybe like have like a kind of like a
Kim Petras.
like a
Well,
B level
whatever.
like Coachella, like have like headliners of different.
I will say this
aspects.
though: those performers, they've lost their way too because they will wait for LA Pride, they will wait for like New York
The
City
big
Pride,
ones.
they will wait for the big ones just so they can get their even look. gays have to make money too. Gay celebrities got to make their money too. But they're going to wait for the big invitations so they can get their check mark on their Pride list. But they're not trying to do this one or Atlanta Pride or Chicago Pride. They're not trying to do those anymore. And it's just because they got a Grammy now.
Oh. Do you think that they should have a headliner?
Yes and no. I think they should have like a local headliner, like they
A
were
local
saying.
headliner. So,
Or
like,
somebody
what's
that's
an
like
example of a local headliner?
See ya.
see Envy, like a local artist. There are so many artists in Sacramento that are totally slept on that could totally headline. But I just think they're definitely focused on bringing people in. You know what I mean?
Sure. Okay, so
But it's about pride.
they're bringing people in. They're spending money. It's corporate. They're going to make the money. Should the local performers be local?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you are putting in the time and the months to gain that audience that goes to your local bars and clubs
Before Pride.
before Pride,
Before Pride.
then you should get the payoff. Even if there's no pay, the payoff is that is a big platform, that is a big stage. You should that's your moment to have your flowers is a mass audience of all ages, of all people that want to go out and celebrate that day. They should be the people that bring the money to the local area.
Yeah.
We are not local. I am not local, but
You're loco.
I'm local. But ask anybody and they'll be like, Helen's a Sacramento girl. Because I'm here all the fucking time.
Yeah.
But I don't just I am not just here. And I'm not saying I'm like, ooh, Helen. I'm just saying I don't just do gigs paid here. I do free gigs. I do court gigs. I do fundraiser gigs. I do all varieties here in Sacramento area because I know that eventually I will get asked to do Sacramento big stuff. So I think that if you're not
Don't bring
putting-
up your scruff.
Shut up. Have one. What scruff?
Come do big Sacramento big stuff.
So,
as a message.
I don't think it's fair and I'm going to chalk this up to the producers.
Please do.
I'm going to chalk this up to the producers. I don't think it's fair when they don't curate an amazing local list and they just choose their friends. And I think that there is a list of people that have done their time. They bring in the crowds. They always support. They always advertise. They should be the first on the one list.
I was gonna say, do you think it's ignorance if they bring in? I don't want to say the wrong local people, but because what happens is sometimes they like Stockton Pride, like you guys, those are the Stockton performers, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, maybe one or two from like Sacramento.
But
like
I don't mean that.
I'll book Manny. Manny's from Sacramento.
Right.
But
I didn't mean that, but I mean,
yeah.
what I meant was the queens and drag performers and kings and everyone that performs at Stockton Pride, their roots in drag are in that community.
Yes.
Yes, and like and it shows, like you're saying, it shows all year round.
Yeah, not just when it's convenient.
Right. So do you think if that doesn't happen, do you think that's out of ignorance from the person that's booking, or do you think it's more?
Are we talking
malevolent?
about Sacramento, or are we talking about in general?
Just in general? I mean, if you go wherever you want to go.
Because the Sacramento person is not ignorant. They are not blind either, but I feel like some people wait for their moment to have power, and then they're like, well, now I can do whatever the fuck I want, and it won't matter, right?
You're talking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Are you going somewhere?
I was. Yeah, it didn't work.
But they're not ignorant. They know what they're doing. Everybody knows what they're doing when they do it.
Calculated.
And when they say they're very calculated. And when they say like, I just didn't think about it. You thought about it. You didn't care. Am I going?
No, my
Oh.
flipper.
Okay. They
I hardly know her.
They have a moment. Everybody has a moment. Every producer has a moment. You've had a moment. You've had a moment. You've had a moment. I've had a moment.
Wait, we covered this. Shady has never produced a show.
I've never produced a show, but people think I have. So we're gonna say yes.
But Shay is part of a grouping, is part of a collective where they have enough pull and sway during things like you're with me this Sunday, right?
Wait, which show?
Sunday Showcase.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. If Shay wanted to, I think you're my co-host now.
Well, I'm
Elena pulled out.
co-hosting?
Oh, you got
Elena pulled out.
Oh.
But
Cute.
it's in this
Catholic
moment.
method.
It's in this moment where they may not be a producer, but if they wanted to, they could say, "I have this person, Daddy Blade," and they'd be like, "Okay, we have a spot open. I'd like to have a say." I think Shay has enough pull.
I really enjoyed Daddy Blade last night. He
I
performed
do.
on with Dolly Romano Max.
Do you want them to perform on Sunday? Can they perform on Sunday?
I would ask them, or if you want me, I can ask him.
Ask them.
No, force them.
Okay.
Because Elena pulled out because she's going to be Angel and Rent.
Helen doesn't talk to everybody, so you'll have to ask.
She's gonna be what?
Angel and Rent.
They're doing a local production of Rent.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Where?
In Stockton. But the person who was playing Angel literally walked off set
Oh.
in the middle of the drum solo part. Apparently, we were talking about this. Were you in that conversation?
Was it during a show or
No,
rehearsal?
yeah.
Yeah,
During a
no,
rehearsal.
Well,
I'm like
good.
normally I'm like let's get back on topic, but I'm like, was this during the show? Tell me the
This
tea,
it was
spill the
during
tea.
a rehearsal,
Oh, that's not as
and they're
fun.
they're a week away from dress rehearsal, and the person was like, I guess they're going through a personal battle or whatever, but it was in the middle of the do, and then they got up from the floor where they were doing the drum solo, and they were like, "I'm leaving," and left, and
You know-
called the people up, I guess yesterday, and said, I'm not doing the show anymore. I can't do it. And then they were like, "Who else does drag?"
At that point, you really should just wait until during the show and like,
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really make a splash.
Like during the death scene, just don't ever come back.
Just-
Like, yeah.
You know it's gonna make headlines when you go, "I'm leaving" in the middle of a show, and you hear the audience go,
This
Yeah.
is a new
Well, who's that
version.
queen? Who's the queen that Lotayan? And she does like
"Oh, you'll never see me again."
and then she leaves, right?
Iconic.
She like leaves and comes back in a suitcase, doesn't she, or something?
She leaves and comes back in a different outfit, and then she leaves and comes back in a suitcase.
Yeah,
And then she leaves for good.
Yeah, and then she leaves like literally the whole building.
Yeah.
very much mine.
Okay, so where were we on the Pride? So you said they should book local routes. Local. I'm here all year
At
round.
least first. If there's enough, there's 2 days here.
Mhm.
There's 2 days. They operate for what, 6-7 hours a day.
I guess
With entertainment. They should at least book local first.
I think maybe the question is
and then fill.
are the local bookings reflective of the local scene?
No.
I think that's
No.
a good way to say it.
No.
So to add on to that,
Please.
if you see the people that are booked, they're booked for multiple days, and that could have been representation for other performers.
That part. No, really.
No, seriously.
I just found out.
That's, like, frustrating.
There are some
But
people
I'm not mad at them,
that
but
are
you know.
booked too. Oh no, I'm mad at them too.
Like for the festival.
You should look at the camera
you
when
g-
you say that.
Well, here's why. You should know better as a drag performer, as a seasoned professional drag performer. You should know better. You should say, "How many days do you want me? 2 days? Are there a lot of other performers booked? Do you have enough diversity? Do you have enough inclusion? Do you have enough variety? No? Please give one of my days to one of those performers. Don't be a greedy asshole. There is nothing wrong with saying, I will give up one of my days. If you're good at your job and you're good at drag, all you need is one day. All you need is one performance.
You missed.
One night only.
I told a whole story about how I'm rejecting drag like any gigs on the morning of the 25th because I'm like no, someone else should get that.
What's on the 25th?
I got a lot of stuff 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. So I'm like, I don't want to do a brunch on the 25th.
Where?
I'm like, is it me?
No, me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was like, is what's happening?
At Roscoe's?
No, it wasn't at Roscoe's.
Where?
I'll tell you off screen.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have to ask you to do something. Anyway,
Do a brunch on the 25th.
I need you to. I
Yes.
need to ask you to host for big Sacramento stuff. Sacramento big stuff.
Is it a public gig?
Public gig.
Actually, a public. Private. It's both. It's
Is it a public gig?
It's in Linden.
It's a Linden. Okay, so I think this is going to be unanimous all around. Do you think that the local performers for drag festivals should be people who reflective of the scene?
Yes.
That's a better way to say it.
Yes.
Especially because like majority of the people there do not go to drag shows.
Right.
So
So
it'll be
they're
their
getting
they'll be the only exposure to what
they're getting a
there.
snapshot and they're like, oh, that's Sacramento drag.
Yeah.
Or that's Linden drag.
Also, here's the thing. Sorry.
No.
How are you going to hold up a flag that has multiple identities on it and only choose to represent a certain kind, or like choose which one you want on on Pride Month? I'm a little choked up.
No, be choked up. Take your time. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a really good point.
No, that's just my
Because
point.
if you have a flag,
That's all.
then and it's a pride festival, maybe you should have every stripe on that flag represented, or every emblem on that flag represented.
It's
100%.
hard,
It's hard. It's
It's
very hard.
hard.
It's very hard.
but you can do your best.
You can try.
And when you give up after trying to fill in 2 boxes, that's not good enough.
It's very obvious if someone tries or if they
yes, it's very obvious.
don't. Okay, so the last question I had planned about this was, and this is an interesting one because I was talking because the three of us, we have talked about local prides, and we're all doing Vacaville tomorrow, and none of us live in Vacaville, right? So like,
Woo. Sorry.
Ooh, good.
I'm like,
We
is
were
that we
smart,
don't,
we
or
would've
because
just
we do,
stayed in the area.
because we should, huh?
That's what they're like, and they're like, is Helen staying? Like, I hope not. She's my bride. I have to go home after this.
If we were smart, though, we would
would've
have just stayed the night.
Yeah.
In Vacaville?
Or in
Oh,
Sac.
here.
Oh yeah,
'cause you gotta
that's
drive
what Taryn
back
thought
to
you
the-
were. Taryn thought you were saying, but anyway, so one of the security guards at Badlands, I was talking to him and I was telling him what I was doing, and he was like, does everyone need a pride? Like, are there too many prides? Like, does every little city, like, and I was like, what do you mean? Because in my, like, when he first said it, I'm like, okay, but like everybody should get to be proud. Everyone should have their little festival, their little park pride, their little, like, because there are different size prides, right? Like tomorrow we're going to be in a park. Sacramento is huge. San Francisco is huger, right? LA is bigger. I don't know.
Giant.
Giant. Okay. So like, should everyone have a pride, or should it just be like I was talking to Taryn and she was like every region?
Like region isn't. How would you break that up over here?
Well, I'm really dorky, and Avi, we all knew that. But the census uses what's called statistical category areas, or CSAs, I think.
Big words.
So
Big
like,
words.
so Sacramento is one, and then everything kind of outline of Sacramento is part of the Sacramento statistical region. San Francisco Bay Area is one. I think it's just Bay Area, and everything else, like in Northern California, is Bay Area, right? Like, so they don't count the little places. They're just like, how many people live in the Sacramento statistical region, and that
Pull a map
includes
down.
everything.
But wouldn't that be like too
Like Stockton
big?
is part of Sacramento statistical region.
Wouldn't that be too big though?
Too big for pride?
Too big for a pride.
Well, I don't know. That's the question. So, Helen, go ahead. You're in the
Oh,
first chair.
I know you were just clapping. You're going to hate my answer. No, I don't think every city should have a pride. I say this as a Pride Center manager. And here's why. Is because you are not giving that city what it needs. Because tomorrow, as an example, you're not from Vacaville, are you? Okay. I'm just
said that like
Half
she
of us aren't
knows.
You could have grown up there. You could have grown up in
This
good old
is
Solano.
a Vacaville resident who works at the Sac Pride Center.
They booked all the queens for Sac Pride.
That does mean that you're from Solano County. I don't know if you know that, but
Have you seen the fight against killer whales? Okay, so for tomorrow, as an example, I'm doing the gig because I support my friend. I support their efforts. I support local drag. But it shows now, this is their second one. Their third one. Oh, shit, even worse. It shows that they are still not organized enough. It is a 4-hour in the park thing. And it shows that they can't even group themselves together just to put on a 4-hour event. They can't give their DJ an itinerary. They have no organization. They don't know who's paying who at the end of the day. They have nothing. I mean, I was just texting you the other day. They've got nothing, and they can't, from what I've heard, is that they can't put two heads together to organize something that is 4 hours long, right? You could watch a movie that's 4 hours long.
there's no 4-hour
the
movie.
Rings.
Sure there is.
You could watch.
Avatar.
You
Lord
could
of the
watch
Rings?
either of us talk on
Titanic.
a mic for 4 hours.
So my point is that, like, I don't think every city is prepared or ready for prides. I think what they should do is they should put on a day in the park. I think they should put on a fundraiser event at a local space to raise money. I think they should collaborate with their county to create safe space mini events. I don't think Pride is the answer, because what they're ended up doing is they might end up spending more money than they get back. And then what is it for? What is the message?
Especially when like it might be a town that's like not really like
they're not ready for
they're not ready
big LGBT
yeah, like every
communities.
every town, every village, every city deserves to have a pride.
Every village.
Every little queer
Every
person
village.
deserves
Hamlets.
to have, you know.
Little
But
town.
like, yeah,
It's a quiet
everyone deserves pride. But should they?
Should they?
No, like because it's like I can only imagine like even like Lodi was pushing it. They're like people around like bordering Lodi have very like conservative and very like angry people.
Wait, Lodi has its own pride?
Mhm.
Yes, they've had to. But here's what happened though. First year after the pandemic situation, and they had 1,500 people. Oh, they lost their shit. They were so excited. The next year, they assumed that more, because projected wise,
That's what you do.
prides are supposed to go up. If you did a good job the first year, you go up. They ended up dropping 500. That's not just like they did even more stuff for the next Pride. They expanded it. They had more
You planned for
vendors.
it.
They planned for more. They got less.
Ooh.
Stockton Pride has also seen that same decline, but it's just because some cities just are not primed for that. I recognize that. I'm putting on a street fair this year.
That's all. I think that's all we really need.
That's all we need. That's all
Yeah.
you need.
I just want to say expecting more and getting less is my entire dating history.
Stupid.
Because
So-
we've had the pride at the downtown major.
The Weber Point.
Yeah, and
But like
it's
a more
it's-
organic pride,
it's-
like a street fair, and then like queer
I
people come.
needed to go back to roots, because the communities are showing up where they want, when they want. There's an oversaturation of prides now, and people are just like not as jazzed to go to any and everything.
Mhm.
And
All
then
at once.
last year we saw a big decline, and you end up paying out more. And when you pay out more, pride centers, organizations, agencies, when they pay out more, they pull from other programs. Invest your money wisely where you can. I think that like tomorrow, I don't know what their budget is. I'm going to assume it's somewhere around like a $7,000 from what I've heard, what it is. Because we're the only entertainment. It's us and a dance crew.
Oh, wow.
Like that's the only entertainment for the day.
Wait, how
We're the
many
headliners.
performers?
We are very
We're
entertaining.
the local
Helen.
performers there.
I know.
How many? Just you three?
No,
No, no, no.
There's quite a
There's
few
six.
of us.
There's six performers.
There's six
Okay.
performers and a dance crew at the end of the day. That's it. And I'm like, so I assume that the entire thing that they're putting on is going to cost no more, should not cost any more than $7,000. But do you know what you could do with $7,000?
Pay all of us $1,000.
Yes.
We'll get our own food somewhere else.
Question. Pinch boat.
Hold on.
Do you guys think you guys are going to be used as political pawns this year in Pride because of what's going on with the attacks on drag queens?
Like, do you mean like in a like? Do you think people are gonna like see us and use us as examples to like hate on us, or
Or do you think they're booking drag queens or drag performers because they're like, well, it's a hot topic, so book them because then we can jump on that bandwagon of yeses or
We're
nos.
supporting drag queens.
Yeah. Yes. I can fully say that I've interacted with people who are now like, add a drag queen. It's like, why? Why now? We've been around in Stockton. We've been around in this community and county for years. Why now?
The answer could be, you mean a drag performer? No, I'm kidding. I'm supportive. That's me being supportive. Okay, instead of a drag queen, because they said book a drag.
No. And I made that point on
and
purpose.
you right
Because
and you should
they-
say a drag performer.
No, and I say drag performer, but they'll always go quickly to drag queen.
Right.
And it's only because that's the spectacle. They want the spectacle. And it's like, don't use us because it's not right for us. It's not fair, but also we get it. You're trying to drum up something so that somebody pays attention over here. We're fighting a battle right now in my city. We're trying to put on a youth and children's show. and we've been putting on family friendly shows for 9-10 years now.
Is this at Pixie Woods?
Yes. Nobody said shit. Nobody said shit to me.
Here we go.
Call back. Until now. Why now? Because it's in the news. Because Tennessee's doing it. Because Texas is doing it.
Well, yeah, this just happened in Placer.
They are sending out articles that say make your city more like Tennessee, more like Texas and stuff like that. It's like, why?
But why?
Why do you want to be like them?
Well,
Even conservatives, why do you want to be like them?
We're not going to get that answer. Okay.
I want it now.
And
No, I want it
It
too.
blew up also because this girl on Twitter was like posting like on social media like, look what they're doing. We don't need this in town. Like no one's asking for this.
Oh no, I saw your tweet. Like, it is garbage, and like I'm having so much fun. Have you seen me on the ad for Punchline? People like somebody just put a bunch of like it's for our brunch, right?
Yeah.
And like they mass advertise, right? So everybody sees it. Lovers see it, lovers of drag, and then very conservative people. And somebody was just like, gross, disgusting, yuck, terrible, awful, stupid, like all
So
these negative words,
aggressive for
and then
no reason.
and then parade. And I wanted to be like,
Parade.
sorry guys, it's my fan. Like, but like, and I'm just like, somebody was like, ew, and I was like, don't come ? Like I'm trying to engage with them to get them to like just be stupid more because it's fun. But anyway, do you think prides should be like everyone should have one, or do you think they should concentrate them? You should have gone last. That was a good answer.
Well, I kind of like piggybacked off, but I think like everyone deserves one. I think it'd be nice in an idealistic world. Everyone should have one, but it's kind of like
Bless you.
it's
Salute.
like for me, like if I was in a smaller town, like if I was from like Lathrop or something or French Camp, and Stockton had a pride, I'm more likely to go to Stockton's pride because it's a bigger city, there's a bigger community out
But
there.
if you're in French camp and Stockton doesn't have one, would you go to Sacramento?
People did it. People did this before.
yeah, we would go, and we went to SF Pride, and I was from Stockton. You know,
Yeah.
like
So
Part of the fun is going with your Judies. Part of the fun is making it an experience and not just going because it's down the street. Part of it is about traveling. It's about getting all your shit packed up. It's about getting together with your best idiots, getting in the car, putting on your favorite jams and going. Because if that's why people like Coachella. That's why people like
EDC.
EDC. People like the Daisy Festival. They like these things because it's an experience that doesn't just it was a 4-hour thing. We just did it. It's down the street. Like, that's why. That's what it used to be. When it's so convenient, then people get the option of like, and it's the same with drag shows, right?
Yeah.
You put too many in front of their face and they're like,
Yeah.
we'll just go to the one next week. Or just go to we'll support you not Monday or Tuesday. We'll go on Thursday, okay? And it's like, well, then you diminish your amounts.
Yes, please come on Thursday.
Yes.
EDC has EDM. I was like, what is
I know they
EDM?
do.
Okay, I just had to look it up because we both said EDM. I think that, and here, you answer because I have a question for Helen that's going to take it away from this. So you answer first.
Can you ask the question one more time?
Absolutely. Should every city, burg, hamlet, township have a pride, or should they be more concentrated and just big ones? Festivals?
So yes and no, like what they said. I think it's like, I feel like the little cities deserve that kind of representation and that to celebrate, but at the same time, it does dilute it. And not everybody that like runs those little tiny prides, like you guys are experiencing, knows how to run them. So I don't know. I feel like yes and no.
I feel like
It's
maybe
a
like
yes
the
and
bigger
no.
ones should like work with the smaller brands.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I was
And they'd be
going to
like,
say.
okay, and this area is brought to you by this city.
So this is
Yeah.
like this is Sacramento. I think Sacramento's probably big enough. Like if you concentrate, unless you super concentrate, and then just San Francisco. But like let's just say for now, Sacramento makes the concentrate cut. Sacramento Pride Festival can have a Stockton like wing or like hour or something.
Or like
Yeah,
a
like a
subset
San
or
Joaquin.
something.
Yeah, or like they can sponsor something like. Is that something feasible like with Pride centers?
They have millions of dollars. They can literally do whatever the fuck they want. They can do whatever they want. And if they want to help those smaller places, they should organize and collaborate to make an event happen in that town that doesn't create it's like do a whole thing. They should do something where it's like, we're setting you up to organically grow from here and create a program, a counseling space, a place where they can get checked. They should be helping them in that way, setting them up for stuff, not pop-ups. They can do it. They have the money. They have the technology.
So where is the money going?
That's a great question. To Lizzo. No, where's the money going? It's going. It's
an honest question.
I can't obviously speak for the SAC LGBT Center. I think they do a lot of great work, honestly. But I'm not going to lie and say that in my 9 years experience working with other Pride centers, that I don't think that sometimes some fundraisers or some organizations or some nonprofits don't raise money or make money and put it right back into their own spaces or keep their money for themselves.
Noted. Interesting.
It's true.
I know.
A lot of people shit on, sorry people, but a lot of people shit on Mama's Making Bacon a long time ago because they were like, well, what are you raising Mama's Making Bacon money for? To put on the next Mama's Making Bacon.
Say that 5 times fast.
Mama's Making Bacon.
Mama's Making Bacon.
What is Mama? What is that again? I know what that is.
It's supposed to be a fundraiser.
It was a drag brunch fundraiser that Taryn started.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when it got away from the idea, and when these things get away from the ideas, they raise money to put on the next one. And that's not raising money for programs, for people, for other things.
For resources.
For resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's my answer. Is I think I think people should have street fairs. I think they should have organic days in the park. But I think the bigger cities could help the smaller cities or invite them to, and say like, look, let's just do it together. I don't know. That's my answer on that. Any last words before we go?
Go support local drag, and there's a youth and family drag show in Stockton for kids and families, June 17th. Tickets are $15. It's from 4:30 to 7.
It's ticketed event and there's security, so it's safe.
Is it a public gig or a private?
It's a private event.
Ticketed gig.
So
you have to buy tickets ahead of time.
You have to choose to go and buy a ticket to get in.
Yes.
So it's like not being forced on anybody. It's after hours.
No, that's so dumb. We can talk about that on another episode because I have a lot to say on that topic.
Can I recommend an episode topic or
Please.
episode thing?
Butts.
Do you do this regularly?
I do now. Me and Shay are like we're both like
Permanent cast members.
every
Locked in,
month.
yeah.
It would be so
Panelist
fierce. You're gonna
status.
hate this idea, but I've been pitching this to you forever.
I'm gonna hate it.
Yes.
Okay.
It would be so
I'm
fierce
love
if you
this.
talked about different drag imagery and different ways to contribute to other people's drag and whatnot. If you on stage live for as long as this damn show runs, if you let Katana do your mug.
Oh, I would hate that. You're absolutely right.
But you could talk about all the ways that people
Let me
the
just
drag
say, I
images
just
that
want
we
to
have out
explain.
there.
I just want to explain. Actually, I'd love for you to do my mug, just not live on camera.
Why not?
Why not? The
Because
transformation.
That's not my bag.
Do you know how many people would watch that?
Yes.
I've been wanting to do more makeup seminars.
And
You
it would-
should. You
it
do
would-
them well.
It would be just as good if next episode I came and she already had did my mug. That'd be just as fun because then you just get to see it.
Look, Shay knows.
I kind of want to see it.
No,
I don't want to pressure
I will never
you,
do a
but-
transformation video. No.
Aw.
Yeah.
It would kill. That's you're like Lady Bunny. You don't want to break the illusion
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
You have to be in or out.
Yeah.
Shay, would you let Katana do your mug?
Yeah, I would.
I would
But
too.
here's the thing. I want to see the transformation with you.
It's not gonna happen.
Let's put an AI filter over
Will
it.
you do Katana's makeup then?
Who?
I don't know if she wants that.
Would you do it?
If she wanted me to.
That's
The thing about me, we've talked about it on
Okay,
the show,
I
is
think we should do that.
am I good at makeup? I'm good at mine, and I think I could do other types of makeup if I sat down and tried it.
What do you well?
What am I?
What do you do well? Quickly.
This face.
Quickly?
We talked about that 2 months ago or so.
Yeah.
About all.
All the different should you do
Oh,
any makeup? Should you
self-sufficiency, yeah.
self-sufficiency. Anyway, okay, so
Will you then? How about this? As another recommendation,
please.
would you let Katana do somebody's makeup and explain makeup here that is not you while you watch and comment?
That feels like a different show than a talk show, but sure.
No, I think it's a talk show.
I agree. It's a little bit more like, again, like seminar-y kind of.
Yeah, this is more like a yes or no panel show. So I guess I mean unless you want me to just read everything you're doing, like, and you're like, now I'm going to use this color from Mac, and I'm like, no.
If there's one person, there's a lot of history and there's a lot of information and facts.
I'm not saying this
about
is bad.
makeup.
I love this idea.
Okay.
I just think there's a better show for it.
No, I know. I'm kind of on the same. Yeah, like I would definitely do another like live thing like this again, like I did at the makeup store that we did that one time.
Yeah.
But in the context of Say Yes, it's like a different.
I would. Okay, here you go, Helen. We'll start a new show, and I'll be off
Say
camera.
no.
Yes, say no. And I'll be
Very Helen.
I'll be off camera, and Katana can do my makeup off camera while she's explaining the history of makeup.
Perfect.
And then I'll come on camera.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Good?
a good deal.
Okay. I do want to talk more about this topic with like youth
Later.
drag shows. Yeah, another time. Youth drag shows, and like you said, no one's forcing you to come.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like don't come. Like it's fine. I don't have anything to add really, except as always, thank you to Stab for letting us do this show here. Thank you to Jesse. It's really great, and you guys should come and support it, like the audience members that we have in the audience, because that's what helps places like this exist. So, do you have anything?
Happy Pride, be gay.
Go see Shay Sunday Showcase
That rhymed.
at Badlands this Sunday.
Well, if you're gonna say that, then everyone should come see us tomorrow in Vacaville at Andrews Park.
Yeah, flood that park.
4 hours.
Make it,
But not like really flood it.
Woodstock.
Are you gonna go?
To Vacaville? Sorry.
Oh, they won't subject their little human to us drag.
will you go June 17th to the Pixie Woods one?
Okay. Well, I mean, that's fine. That's good.
It's
Would
not
you-
true. Actually, it's my show. She just doesn't want to go.
But would you?
I'm kidding.
Would you? It's not like a.
I used to photograph the drag queens and kings at faces back in 2001.
You're talking. They can't.
Like Pixie Woods is like.
I used to photograph the drag queens, so yeah.
Yeah.
Just photograph Monique Moore.
Okay. Yeah, like Pixie Woods is like Fairy Tale Land in Stockton, and it's just we're literally gonna drop this. We're gonna be like Disney like brunch basically, kind of,
Yeah.
or it's an evening, so it's like cartoon
But you know
characters.
What do you? Okay.
Respect your hustle.
Here's the question about that,
Another
and then we'll end the episode on this cliffhanger. But like,
Just turn to black.
and I'm dressed really perfect for this because it's like if it's at a fairy tale land, what are the normal people wearing? Costumes, wigs,
I think, well, there I don't. I
makeup.
haven't been there since I was in first grade.
There are no like characters.
It's
to
like a
walk
play.
around.
It's like a playground.
Well, that's a problem. You have a fairy tale land with no characters. What the fuck is that nonsense? That's like having.
cost money.
Is it like a nonprofit? Like, is it a free thing to get into? I haven't been.
The
again,
city bought it.
I haven't been
so
since I was in
it's-
first grade.
It's a city space, but there's, yeah,
Okay, we'll talk about that another
I've
time.
also never
You
been
can
to
come back.
Japanese garden before.
damn, self-hatred.
All right. I think that's everything. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Anything else? All right. Thank you, Helen, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you, of course, Shay and Katana. And
Thank you.
we will see
Thank you.
Apple
Thank you.
next month. I don't know what the first.
Love you, Apple.
What is the first? You know, what's the first Friday of July?
July 3rd,
No, that's a Sun. The second is a Sunday.
July 7th.
July 7th. You haven't booked that cast yet, have you?
No,
Okay.
I booked one person, the winner of whoever won
Next
Cara
drag.
Coronado's
Oh.
thing.
Okay, so July 7th, we'll be back with Apple Adams, and this
Maybe
is proof.
Katana.
This is proof. I didn't start this show, so Helen couldn't do it because she's here.
Stupid.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.